Hello, this is Amy Merkel, Counselor and Transfer Center Director at Santa Rosa Junior College, and I will be going over the Cal State Apply application to give you an idea of how to fill it out, as well as some of the trickier parts for students. So once you get into the Cal State Apply website, you can just go to calstate.edu/apply. You will go ahead and create an account in here. So I've already done that, so I'm just going to log in to my account here. And once you create that account, it will ask you a few questions, obviously about who you are, your name, that type of thing. And then it will ask you what it is that you're going for. So the Cal State Apply application is not only used for transfer students, but for students going in as freshmen, as well as graduate school. So it's very important that you select the right button when you declare what it is that you're doing. So you're going for your first bachelor's degree, and then it's asking you which of the following best describes you. Are you a graduating high school senior? Are you transferring with an associate's degree for transfer from a California community college, or transferring from a California community college or four-year institution? So the associate's degree for transfer offers some benefits when students receive that degree from Santa Rosa Junior College and they are going to a California State University. So the associate degree for transfer, there's one in psychology, sociology, English, philosophy, all different types of majors. You want to go and see which one am I doing. Am I getting an associate's degree for transfer, or am I getting a local SRJC Associates of Arts or Science degree? So for instance, the Social and Behavioral Sciences major is not an associate's degree for transfer. So you want to answer this question correctly. So I have selected that I am transferring from Santa Rosa Junior College and my major is Administration of Justice, and I am earning that associate's degree for transfer in AJ from SRJC. Okay. Then it asks me if I am a returning student, if I've served in the military, if I'm an international applicant. So if you're an international applicant, you would want to say yes to that because the application is slightly different. Okay. So once you finish this, you can go into the application. Let me say one other thing. We'll actually ask you what school you're applying to. So you're using one application to apply to several different campuses if that's what you're doing. So I have started an application for Long Beach and for Sonoma State. If I wanted to add another school, I would click here on Add Program. I would choose the campus. So we'll say Sacramento State. The source is campus. That sometimes will have online, and then my term that I'm plan to start is fall. Then it's asking me what major do I want to do at Sac State. So although we call it Administration of Justice, the four-year campuses typically call it Criminal Justice. So I would select Criminal Justice here, and then I am done. So I think that's all I have to do. So now let's go back to submit and see. Yes, okay, so Sac State is now there, okay? So now back to my application. There are four main parts to the application: personal information, academic history, supporting information, and program materials. The personal information is obviously where you're going to give information about yourself. So you're going to include your biographic information, your name, who you are, some information about have you ever been homeless or a ward of the court. This one is confusing to students. So what is your statewide student ID number? This is a number that was given to you while you were in the California K-12 system. You can leave that blank. So a lot of students do not know what that was. You do not need to go dig that up to find what that information was. Okay. Citizenship and residency. So for this question, you're going to select your country of citizenship and then select the best that describes you for U.S. citizenship. If you are an AB 540 student, you would select none here, okay? And if you, again, are a international student, this question is going to be different when you select that you are doing a application for international students. And then for California residency, this is not a legality question. So again, if you are a California, or if you are a dreamer, you would select California as your California residency. Okay. Let's see, financial and parental information. There's a few questions on here that can be confusing for students. This one here, what is the parent's untaxed income? So this here is if your folks have received disability income or workman's compensation, those types of things. And for most families, this would be 0, but if that's the case for your family, there may be an amount that goes in there. And let's see, under other information, there is a question that asks about the California Promise. So the California Promise is if a student is receiving an associate's degree for transfer, they can participate in the California Promise as well. And it's a way to get students in and out of the university within 2 years. So just say yes to that question. If you're receiving an associate's degree for transfer, it's something that you don't have to participate in once you get there, but it's not going to hurt you in any way to say yes. And up on the Social Security question, you can leave that blank. You do not have to include a Social Security number if you do not want to. So the academic history portion is the biggest chunk of the application. They want to know what high school you attended and if you earned your diploma. If you've gone to more than one high school, you want to include all high schools that you've attended and the school that you received the degree from. If you were homeschooled, there's an option for that as well. Or maybe you did not graduate from high school, then you can select that option as well. Okay. Then you're going to enter all colleges you've attended. So I've just entered Santa Rosa Junior College, but if you've gone to College of Marin or Mendo or something like that, you would include all colleges with the dates. So I started in June of 16 and I'm still attending. I'll be here through May. I'm on the semester system and I will be getting my Associate of Science degree from SRJC in 2019. The transcript entry portion of the application is what takes the longest. So you are going to look up your Santa Rosa Junior College transcript and you will be entering every course you've ever taken, no matter what. If the course was transferable, if the course was a W grade, if you didn't pass the class, it does not matter. Every single class comes on here. So when you first come in, you add a semester. So your choices here are going to be fall, spring, winter, summer 1, and summer 2. And so for summer 1, summer 2, it does not matter, okay? Just select summer 1, that's fine. Select the year that you attended, so we'll just say 16. The academic status, remember this application is used not only for transfer students. So they have freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Just mark the first part of your transcript as freshman and the second part as sophomore. That's totally fine. And then the completion status, I've completed this course. So I'm going to go ahead and add a class. And it will auto-populate. So if I type in counseling, it will bring up the counseling classes that are transferable within the system. Well, I took Counseling 270 my first semester. That was the Intro to College. No results found. So I'm going to enter the course title, Intro to College, and then I have to select the subject. And for the subject, you're going to get as close as you can. So for something like work experience, you would just select special topics. If If you can't find it, just select special topics. That's fine. This is nothing that is going to get the application denied, but if you don't have something selected there, you can't move forward. There's also no languages listed. So there's no Spanish, there's no Italian, there's no French. So what you would select for a foreign language is foreign languages. And so again, just get as close as you can. Okay, so I'll select counseling. Now I'm going to put in the units. Well, this was a half a unit class. Okay, so this box goes 0, and then under the drop down, I'm going to select 50. So this is 0 point, you can't see the point, 5, a half a unit. My grade was a pass. Okay, what's happening? I can't save. Why can't I save this class? You have to push this box, okay? And then you'll be able to save it. The CAS grade has to do with graduate school. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Just select that box. If this class was transferable, I would put a check mark here as well. So let me just save this, I guess. So then looking at the rest of my credits here, I have entered all the classes that I've taken. You can see here work experience. I have special topics. The biology class, I got a W, so I put the W grade in. I took philosophy 3 in spring of 17 and I got a D. So I worked with a counselor to do academic renewal. So what I'm going to put as my grade is academic renewal. I don't want that D calculated into my GPA, so I'm putting academic renewal. In fall of 17, I took Media 4, and I also got a D. But then I repeated it the next semester, and I passed it with a B. So my first attempt here, I'm putting RP for repeat, because I don't want a D calculated in and a B. So if you've repeated any courses, you put the grade as repeat, okay? Then I'm going to enter the courses that I'm currently taking for fall of 18 and what I plan to take in spring of 19. So you can see here I've started to list my coursework as sophomore year, okay? So just break it up for what makes the most sense for you. Okay, I'm going to delete that semester because I actually don't need it. All right. So coming back over to the left-hand side here, I've done transcript entry. Now it's asking me about my general education. And so most of these courses were pulled up. However, when I did critical thinking, there was nothing here. I had to go select it myself. And unfortunately, they don't go in by course name and number. They go in by course title. So you have to find the class, and you want to be careful. The one where I've seen the most mistakes is English. A lot of people will select Intro to College Reading and Writing, which is English 100, instead of College Composition, which is English 1A. So you want to make sure that you are entering the correct subject there. Standardized tests, it's asking if I've had any standardized test. So this is the ACT or the SAT. You do not have to put this in. Okay, so I'm not going to add any standardized tests. Then it's asking about advanced placement. Yes, I do have an advanced placement I would like to enter. So I took, let's see, what did I take? I took AP World History. And when did I take it? Gosh, I really don't remember, but I graduated high school, I think it was in 2016. So I took the test in May. I'm assuming you don't know the exact date. It's okay, all right? I got a score of 3, and that was the only test that I took. So I would save and continue. And then that class actually goes into my transcript entry. So I'll show you how to do that in just a second. I do not have any CLEP. I do not have any IB. So I'm going to come back to transcript entry, and I'm going to enter my AP course. that goes into the first semester I attended Santa Rosa Junior College. So I'm going to go ahead and enter it in my summer courses here. And I'm going to add a course. Where did it go? There it is. Okay, I took AP World History. And then I'm going to put it in here again, AP World History. My subject is going to be history. And for the world history for AP, I believe that I get 6 units for that. So you'll want to talk with a counselor, or you can go to the articulation website for Santa Rosa Junior College, which is articulation.santarosa.edu, and you can look up under students and counselors. There's a grid that shows how AP scores are used. So let's look up AP World History here, if this wants to come up. All right. So here's world history here. And here is the CSU transfer units. So for world history, I get 6 units. So I'm going to come back to my application and put in 600, and I got a pass. I'm not marking this as transferable because I don't want it to be calculated into the GPA. Again, I can't save it. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Click on the box, okay, and then you can save it. So now my AP is in, and then when I'm all the way done with my transcript entry, I'm going to do a review and finalize. So it's going to ask me some questions. This first question says, your primary college is the college or university where you will earn your first bachelor's degree. This is a glitch. Just mark Santa Rosa Junior College and continue on. Did I repeat? Yes, I did. So what I'm going to do on my repeats, not W's, just the courses that I actually repeated. So I've marked, it looks like this. I mark Media 14, and then I mark it again where I repeated it. So again, you just want these 4 units going into the calculation of the GPA. So I'm done. Then it's asking, did I have any advanced placement? Yes, I do. So then same thing. I'm going to mark the AP class and move on. Did I have any additional tests? No. No honors, and I did not get to study abroad. So now my section for academic history is almost done. I have to go back through general education. Make sure you do this a lot. So now I believe my section is done. So now I have section 1 and 2 completed. Section 3 is not that difficult. 1, it asks me about my associate's degree for transfer. So it's asking me for my SRJC student ID number and when I would be receiving the ADT. You can leave the California Community College ID blank. Because I'm receiving an associate's degree for transfer, I get to select 2 campuses that I could be rerouted to if I did not get into one of the campuses that I'm applying to. So my choices are to go to Bakersfield, Channel Islands, Humboldt, San Francisco State, or Stanislaus. So I chose Humboldt. Here were my choices as far as the majors go. Then I chose San Francisco State and Criminal Justice. So again, if I didn't get into SAC, Long Beach, or Sonoma, I would be rerouted to one of these campuses because I'm earning the associate's degree for transfer. The next section is about EOP. So if you would like to apply for EOP, this is the place that you would do it. EOP is similar somewhat to EOPS here at SRJC. And the one of the differences is they pretty much just offer academic support, not as much monetary support that you may be getting at the community colleges. You can actually submit your Cal State application and then come back to, I don't know what this is. This is what happens. You get some strange boxes here. Okay, so you can submit your Cal State application and then come back to return and complete the EOP portion because it does take some time. And so a lot of the campuses are allowing until January the 15th to get your EOP application in. The campuses that have a November 30th deadline are Chico, Fresno, LA, Sacramento, and San Bernardino. And so you would need to submit your EOP application as well as your Cal State Apply application by November 30th. So there are some questions about your family and income. So have you completed the questions on the EOP page and are you ready to continue? I'm going to say yes. So then it's going to ask me some questions about my family, financial status, if I am an independent of parental support, and go on from there. Then there are some essay questions that they want you to answer. So briefly describe your family's economic background. Why would you like to attend college? Briefly discuss your academic background. List any volunteer extracurricular activities or work experience, and if there's any additional information you would like EOP to consider. So those questions take some time. Then you have to do recommendations. And so you have to request two people to write a letter of recommendation for you. You would want to ask these people first before you send this to them, and then you can send them the recommendation from EOP to be filled out. Okay? So that is in the third section. And then the last section of the application is program materials. You can see both Long Beach and Sacramento already have a check mark. So if you look at these, there's nothing to be filled out. They're just giving you some general information. But for Sonoma State, they provide some information, and then there are some questions that need to be answered. So the question that they want to know is, what is your GPA? So we'll just say Teresa Transfer's GPA is a 3.5. Okay, so save and continue, and then that section is done as well. So now I have everything completed besides that EOP. So I could go in and say, I'm going to do this later. And then that box would also be done. And here I will return later. And so now I'll just say yes. I've never attended. Well, this would be not applicable. And then was I in any of these programs? I was in Puente. But for the purposes of this, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to answer all these questions. And we'll say no, no, and no. And here I had to put Santa Rosa. Okay, we'll put Chaffee. That's fine. It's not letting me save it. Okay, so I completed that section, and now everything is done here. So now I go to Submit Application, and there's a box here, Check My Fee Waiver. So I'm going to select that, and I've been granted 4 fee waivers. So this came off of the information I entered in the first section of the application about my family's income. So if I wanted to submit all of my applications, I do not owe any money. One easy thing to do to check your application is to download it by pushing this blue button, and then you can see the entire application at once. So I hope this has helped you in filling out the application, and then we look forward to seeing you at one of our application review sessions.